The Three Theories of Interaction by Börje Holmberg, Michael Moore, and Terry Anderson. While there are many theories written in the field of distance education, the Three Theories of Interaction by Börje Holmberg, Michael Moore, and Terry Anderson are considered as the foundation for research in interaction. The theory called Guided Didactic Conversation by Börje Holmberg in 1988 views distance education as the conversation-like interaction between the student on one hand and the teacher on the other. This means, despite the separation of the student and the teacher, learning occurs during the learner's interaction with the teacher's instructions and study materials, sent through various forms of media. These represent a kind of simulated communication between the student and the teacher. This happens because learners talk to themselves about the information and ideas they encounter while going through these materials. The basic general assumption is that real learning is primarily an individual activity and is attained only through an internalizing process. In 1989, Michael Moore suggested that distance educators need to agree on the distinctions between three types of interaction, namely learner-content interaction, learner-instructor interaction, and learner-learner interaction. Learner-content interaction is the type of interaction between the learner and the content of study materials. This type of interaction is similar to the concept of Holmberg's guided didactic conversation. It is the process of intellectually interacting with content that results in changes in the learner's understanding, perspective, or cognitive structures of the mind. Learner-instructor interaction is the interaction between the learner and the expert who prepared the content or study materials, or someone acting as the instructor. In this type of interaction, the instructor shares his knowledge by teaching or facilitating knowledge to the learner. The intensity of the instructor's influence on learners when there is learner-teacher interaction is much greater than when there is only learner-content interaction. Learner-learner interaction is the third form of interaction according to Moore. This is the interaction between one learner and other learners, alone or in group settings, with or without an instructor's presence. Learner-learner interaction in distance education is done by private messaging, discussion forums, and teleconferencing. The free exchange of ideas and reciprocal feedback in peer interaction allows learners to shed the feeling of isolation, get the concept of support, and learn essential skills for functioning in modern society, especially in business. Lastly, in 2003, Terry Anderson introduced his interaction equivalency theorem. According to Anderson, deep and meaningful learning is achieved when one of the three forms of interaction, namely, student-teacher, student-student, and student-content, is at a high level. That means the other two forms may be offered at minimal levels or even eliminated without degrading educational experience. Moreover, Anderson added that if two or all three of these forms are at high levels, it is more likely to provide a more satisfying educational experience. The point of this theory is the equivalency in value or the quality considered in the interaction. Any one of these interaction elements could assure quality learning. Anderson's example was a student who achieved quality learning through intense interaction with peers, although the instructor was not available and the course content was not appropriate. Of course, if two or all three of these interactions are high, the educational experience will be more satisfying for the learner. However, Anderson added that the cost of producing content and the need for additional human resources to increase the combined levels of two or three forms of interaction is expensive and unsustainable.